Like to have that as a shed in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
Nice roof on it.
So, speaking of that, where my dog kennel is now,
Yeah.
Monica wants a she shed.
Have you shown her any pictures of what? I should send you some pictures.
Something like that would be awesome.
I'll tell you, just to take an idea, or I'll put it in your head. And this was all Sharon. We just started shopping for windows at antique places.
Yeah.
You know, that were pulled out of farmhouses and stuff. You know, single pane windows. They were like $10 each. None of the panes were all in them. And we got, I don't know, over time we've probably got, I mean, it's all windows. And so all I did, she had this whole storage area full of windows. She's like, I want you to build a shed out of these windows. I said, okay. And I drew on our patio, I drew like the outline of a wall. I said, okay, you lay your windows out how you like it. And then I'll look at it and I'll tell you changes that need to be made so we can get some studs in here.
After you had some framing up or nothing?
Nothing. We hadn't even started it. I just had on the patio, flat concrete patio. I sort of had in my mind the size of it. So I drew like one wall. I would draw a wall, and it would be like 8 feet high and maybe 15 feet long. I say, okay, start laying your windows down on this wall. Build your wall out of these windows. I want to see it. So I can, in my mind, I can get a vision of what you'd like to see.
Okay.
And then she laid it out, and I was like, okay, well, we should have like the bottom maybe 2 feet of it needs to be solid. So let's all have this area as no windows. And now move everything up, lay your windows out. And then she laid it out and said, okay, this one can't go long ways, you got to go. So we just kept playing around with it. And then I was like, okay, I think we can do this. I have enough room to put studs up. And, you know, it's not 16-inch stud framing.
Right.
But it's a shed. So we'd get one wall down, we'd take pictures of it and take all those windows and set them off to the side. And then I'd do the same thing. I'd say, okay, let's work on the next wall. And
that's pretty cool.
It turned out nice. Much better than I thought it would. I mean, it was originally, it's about the size. Well, you've been in it, but I would say it's about this size. And originally, half of it was going to be hers, and half of it was going to be mine to put the garden tractor in.
Yep.
And I even put like a garage door at one end. And then when it was done, she was like, I'll make a deal with you. I'll buy you a shed. I'll buy you a shed kit from Lowe's, have it delivered, if you give me that.
That space, the rest of the space?
I said, done. Deal done. I took that. She said, I want that garage door out of here.
See, I like how this one's built, though. It's like, okay, you come up maybe, 4 or 5 feet?
Mm-hmm.
And then you take the rafters up to a certain level. It's angled. It's angled steeper in the back than in the front. It's not in the middle.
Yeah, I forget what this style is called, but this has a name.
But I like this. And there's only one beam. There's only one beam in the middle.
And there's at each end you put it just slotted. Those are 2x4s, and the middle one is shorter. So you put your beam down in the center, and you set it.
These are two
by 6s. Yeah. And then you just take your 2x8 maybe? Might even be a 2x6.
Might even be a 2x6, yeah.
And you just lay that in there. That's one of the first things you get up.
You think these are 2x4s? They look bigger than 2x4s. I bet this thing's
That might be. Might be
They
decking.
might be original 2x4s.
Yeah. Could be decking. I don't know. But that, you know, everything out here is going to be built much heavier than what you would really need to build a shed for.
But I like this because, like where my yard slopes down, and this could be elevated.
Yeah.
With a step, you know, maybe with,
Mm-hmm.
you know, maybe with one step, you know, maybe two.
Sounds like a good project. I was after her. She got to her first set of windows when we lived in North Lakes. And I was like, what are you going to do with all those windows? I don't know. I'll find something to do with them. She held on to those windows for like 15 years.
What's the middle of this? I mean, there's stone around it, but there's something in them around this.
Yeah, that one looks like it's flue.
Yeah.
You know, chimney
Yeah.
liner, chimney
Yeah.
liner. That's what it's called. Protect the wood from it being chewed on or
And then there's
rotten.
just stone all around it, probably to reinforce the chimney flue. Because those things aren't
Yeah.
that strong.
Oh, I think there's wood inside of it. I think there's.
Oh, inside of the flue.
I think there's a 2x8 in there.
Oh, okay.
Or a 2x6 or something.
Or it's concrete. You know what they did?
Or
they
it's concrete.
Poured concrete in
Oh,
it.
that's what they did. You're right. They used that
That's
as their form.
smart.
They just put that down and fill it.
And use that as a form.
Yeah. Somebody knew what they were doing.
And then they put the
Rocks around it.
the rocks around it, and then the, you know, whatever, the 2x8s all the way around.
Set it down on it.
I like it.
Leveled it out. That'd make a hell of a woodshed also. You probably put 4x4x4 is a cord, right? So you do 2 cords high and you probably get 4 across. 4 by 2, that's 8 by 3 deep. 8 times 3, 24 cords of wood in that thing. That'd last you for a while.
I don't even think I'd have to have a permit.
You probably do not. If it's under, I think it's like 264 square feet.
Yeah, and then something about if you poured a slab, you have to. But there, I wouldn't pour a slab.
Really? You have to. I know if you put water or power, like technically we should have had a permit to do ours because I ended up running power in there.
That's one thing she would want, is electricity.
Yeah, but I'll tell you, I just do it. And when you get to the power part, where's your power panel at? Your breaker panel?
It's on the back of the house.
Is it up against the back wall?
Yeah.
Easy to do. We could do that. You get to that part, we just get enough conduit, and it's cheap. 10-foot lengths, 12-foot lengths of conduit. We dig it like a 2-foot trench. Lay the conduit, run the wire through it. You got power. It's easy. If you can get in to the panel, you'd be surprised how easy that stuff
Really?
is. Yeah. We could definitely do that. And that's probably 50 feet, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Maybe a little longer. That would be buying a coil of wire is going to be your most expensive part of the whole deal.
wonder how much all the wood and stuff would be. And I like the roof on that too. Like I'd want to do a roof or something like that.
Yeah. Now originally the concept was greenhouse, right? So we put, what's that stuff called? Polycarbonate.
Yeah.
Clear polycarbonate roof panels on. To let all the light in, which is nice. And it gets shaded during the summer because it's under trees. But it can get warm in here. You'll have a lot of fun building that. I enjoyed doing that a lot. It's pretty big.
That'll be my winter planning. Figure all that out.
Yeah.
Figure out all the materials.
Well, come on out. We'll go fishing one day, and you can look around with a different eye. Because when you're looking at stuff that you're going to build,
yes,
you start to look at it differently. And that's the thing that it was great to get the lawn shed, the garden shed, whatever you call it. It's great. Put all the lawnmowers in there and everything. And it came in pieces, panels, pretty much. Well, not panels. It came in pieces. I had to put it together, but all the cuts were done. So I just followed the instructions, put that together, and it's real nice. The shed that we made, the greenhouse, is neat because it came from nothing. No plans,
right.
Nothing, right? It was just a concept in our minds. And then I would go to Lowe's. I'd spend 2 hours at Lowe's just walking around thinking stuff. Sometimes I wouldn't even buy anything. I'd go through and take measurements in my mind. I'd take some notes. And then it was sort of like, okay, here we go. We're going to start building. And
I could have walked that off to see how long it is. How long do you think that thing was?
We can figure that out. Clearly from a picture we can figure that out. I would say that was 20 feet maybe.
And how deep do you think it was?
12.
Okay.
It's probably 12 by 20.